All right, welcome to today's Explainer. I'm absolutely pumped you're here today because, well, we're talking about a top secret mission. Seriously, a mission that's going to completely change how you look at literally everything around you. Take a second and look around your room right now. Check out your clothes, your gadgets, maybe that piggy bank sitting on your shelf. Have you ever actually wondered who really owns all of that stuff? Today, we're diving into this super amazing, kind of mysterious concept from our source text about what our possessions actually mean and what we're supposed to be doing with them. So get ready because consider yourself officially recruited.
Okay, I want you to use your imagination for a second. Picture your absolute favorite things in the whole world. Maybe it's, I don't know, a brand new pair of sneakers, that awesome video game console you just got, or even a super cool jacket in your closet. Now, what if you woke up tomorrow morning, turned off the lights, and suddenly saw glowing secret words written right across them by the very finger of God? Imagine finding invisible ink messages on all your stuff. No way, right? But what do you think those messages would even say? Keep this safe, or maybe don't let your little brother touch this under any circumstances. Well, according to the really fascinating text we're digging into today, the message would actually be something completely different.
Which brings us to Section 1. Secret messages from God, writing on the wall, and your stuff.
Okay, let's dive into this. The source material paints a very vivid picture. What if you looked at your most expensive clothes and saw the words, "Clothe the naked"? Or what if your family had these beautiful, fancy decorations all over the house, and right across them was the command, "Bring the poor to thy house"? Just imagine sitting down for a massive holiday dinner, a table totally overflowing with food, and right there, traced onto the table, it says, "Deal thy bread to the hungry." Basically, if God wrote on our extra stuff or our huge dinners, he wouldn't be telling us to just sit back and admire it. Nope, he'd be giving us a direct secret mission to share it with the folks who don't have enough clothes, who don't have a home, and who are hungry.
Now, you're probably thinking, whoa, okay, that's a lot of pressure. And honestly, you're right, it is. The text gives us a very clear warning saying it is not a light matter to be the Lord's steward. Basically, ignoring these hidden messages on our stuff is a really big deal. Why? Because the text says we are called to be what is known as a steward. But what exactly does that big, old-fashioned word even mean?
Well, let's find out in Section 2. What is a steward? Your VIP manager badge.
So we're going to break down this fancy word into a concept that's super easy to grasp. A steward is basically a trusted manager, or, if you like the spy theme, a secret agent who is assigned to take care of someone else's stuff. Think of it like being the VIP equipment manager for a pro sports team. The manager doesn't actually own the basketballs, the uniforms, or the fancy water bottles. The owner owns all that, but the owner trusts the manager completely to hand out that equipment to the players who need it to win the game. So if you're a steward, you've been given a VIP badge. You are the one in charge of distributing the goods.
And this brilliantly illustrates the core concept. Who really owns your stuff? Well, according to the text, God owns 100% of it. Literally all of it. The allowance money in your pocket, the toys on your shelf, the extra food in your pantry, it's all His. The law of God holds us accountable for how we manage every single dollar and every single resource that comes into our hands. We don't own the sports equipment, remember? We're just the trusted managers handing it out.
I absolutely love this quote from the text right here. The Lord has made men his agents to relieve the world's distress. Think about that for a second. You aren't just some random kid going to school or playing in your neighborhood. You are literally God's chosen secret agent. He has entrusted you with his goods, his money, his clothes, his food, specifically so you can help people who are hurting or in distress. You've been given a super active, highly important assignment.
Moving on to Section 3, the trap of keeping everything, the danger of hoarding.
So every great secret agent story has a conflict, right? And here we basically have two choices. First, you've got the selfish hoarder. This is like the VIP equipment manager who takes all the basketballs, locks them in a dark closet, and completely refuses to let the players use them. The text actually warns that if a person hoards or selfishly squanders their entrusted goods on luxury, they're only honoring themselves and, get this, it will actually be the ruin of their own soul. That's pretty heavy. But then on the flip side, we have the faithful steward. This is the awesome secret agent who uses those goods to relieve distress and honor God. So the question is, which one would you rather be?
The text points out the really tragic mistakes of the hoarder. It says that sometimes even people who claim to follow God will walk right past someone in need, kind of just pretending they don't see them. They selfishly waste money on luxury items they don't even need, completely forgetting that God is no respecter of persons, which is just an old way of saying God loves the poor person exactly as much as he loves the rich person. And here's the real kicker. The source tells us that Jesus sees this, Jesus marks it down, and he absolutely will not just pass it by. Which brings us to Section 4, Jesus in disguise, the ultimate undercover boss. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that it reveals the most incredible plot twist of this entire explainer. Who are we actually helping when we share our stuff? There's this famous quote from Matthew 25:40, where the king says, "Inasmuch as ye have done it unto one of the least of these my brethren, ye have done it unto me." Do you catch what that actually means? When you help the poorest, the loneliest, or maybe the most ignored kid in your school, the least of these, you aren't just helping a regular person, you're actually helping Jesus himself. Mind blown, right? The text explains this so beautifully. It says Christ puts himself in the poor man's place. He completely identifies his own interests with the interests of the poor. You can kind of think of Jesus as the ultimate undercover boss. Have you ever seen that show where the CEO of a massive company dresses up in a disguise to see how their employees are doing? Well, Jesus is the creator of the universe, but he disguises himself as the hungry person, the lonely person, or the kid who just really needs a friend or a winter coat. How you treat them is exactly how you are treating him.
So the crucial point is this. We must share the gifts we've been entrusted with using grateful liberality, which is really just a fancy way of saying we should share happily and generously. Because think about it. You aren't handing a sandwich or a jacket to a random stranger. You are handing it directly to your Redeemer. When you look at it that way, giving doesn't feel like a chore at all, does it? It actually feels like the ultimate honor.
Section 5. Your mission begins today. Time for practical benevolence. Let's move to and see how this builds into a real, everyday action plan for you.
It's awesome to know we're secret agents, sure, but what do we actually do? Well, the text calls it practical benevolence. I know, that's a huge phrase, but the definition is actually super simple. It just means kindness in action. It means taking all those warm, fuzzy feelings of wanting to be a nice person and actually doing something real about it. It's using what you have right now, your time, your allowance, your extra toys, your voice, to genuinely help someone else in your everyday life.
So here is your exact mission protocol. Just 3 simple steps to complete your daily mission as God's trusted manager. Step 1, notice a need. Keep your eyes peeled. Who around you looks sad, hungry, or maybe just left out? Step 2, ask how to help. Sometimes the absolute best thing you can do is just walk up and ask, "Hey, what can I do for you?" And finally, step 3, share what you have. Dispense it with grateful liberality. Give away that extra snack, share your video game, or literally just give your time to listen to them.
Always remember, you are the #1 agent God has placed in your exact school, in your exact family, and in your exact neighborhood. Think about it. Nobody else has the exact same friends or the exact same opportunities to distribute his love that you do. You are the VIP manager on site right now, today.
So I'm going to leave you with this final provocative thought. The very next time you walk into your room and look at your favorite toys, your newest clothes, or your favorite snacks, will you just see a bunch of stuff? Or will you see God's secret message written in invisible ink, asking you to share it as his faithful agent? Your mission is waiting. Go out there and start giving. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you on the next one.